everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Gabriela. I make videos about fragrance, astrology, self-care, mental health, skincare, beauty. I do vlogs and basically whatever else I feel like talking about. So if that sounds like your jam, I have a fuzz on my lip. If that sounds like your jam, please stick around and subscribe. Today, we're doing another video in my Venus sign series, and today is something you voted on to be next. Venus in Taurus, which is why we are in our beautiful earth tones, in a cozy little sweater from Target, in an earth toned lip. We're feeling cozy and cute. Venus in Taurus. Let's get into it. Oh, by the way, before I begin, don't leave your requests in the comments about what you want me to do next. I say this every video and somebody still misses it. I base the videos off of who votes in my polls on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. About once a week or every 2 weeks, I post a poll in my stories and you can vote what the next Venus sign will be. That is how I decide. So follow me on Instagram. Let's jump into Venus in Taurus. So Taurus, besides Libra, is the other zodiac sign that is ruled by the planet Venus. So it is in its domicile when it is in the sign of Taurus, which means it's home. If you think of like, this is my domicile, it feels comfortable there. It's a very, very good placement. It's a very natural placement for Venus. So if you can imagine what Venus already represents, love, sensuality, pleasure, how you deal with finances, how you might look, Taurus lives in that realm all the time, which is why Taurians, people with Taurus energy, always get joked about, you know, that they love to eat and the way that you woo them is through their stomach, or they just want to lay there and be the, you know, have you feed them grapes and give them foot massages and things like that. But Taurians are really very good at being indulgent, and not even indulgent because they can be quite like frugal people and good with their money, but they just like the finer things in life, quality. And it's not just quality. It's not just like I spent a lot of money on this so it must be quality. It also has to have aesthetic taste. It has to bring them pleasure. Everything around them should bring them pleasure and should be aesthetically pleasing and just something that makes them feel good and grounds them. Something I've noticed about people with a lot of Taurus placements, but you know, especially Venus and Taurus, the way that they decorate their home is going to be very important. It will be, you know, stylistically, it'll totally depend on who they are, obviously, but it's going to be a point of pride for them. It's similar to kind of Cancers, but even more, Cancer is like, I want my home to be cozy and warm and inviting. Taurus kind of likes to make a statement about themselves with their home. So whatever they find aesthetically pleasing, whatever they find sort of opulent and luxurious and lovely, they're gonna put in their home. Also, because they're an earth sign, they're probably not going to tend towards a minimal way of dressing or way of decorating their home. And if they are, because I do follow a couple minimalist Taurus influencers, they have a capsule wardrobe, but that capsule wardrobe is full of Gucci and Eileen Fisher and expensive brands. Earthy, but expensive. So like, yes, I will wear all earth tones in my simple sweater, but I'm gonna be carrying my freaking Gucci monogram bag. But most of the time I would think they're more of maximalists. They're probably gonna have a lot of plants in their home, or a lot of greenery, or just kind of like any way that they connect with the earth. So maybe it's not plants, maybe it's just a lot of wood. Like they love having wood in their home and nicely crafted wood pieces. Or they might be someone who likes like taxidermy animals. A lot of their, you know, pleasure comes from the way that their home is decorated and what they do in their home and how they spend their time there. In general, Taurus is a very sensual sign. I guess arguably the most sensual of all signs in terms of every sense needs to be delighted. They are connected to their bodies, to the material world. A lot of my Taurian placement friends are like, I would never go skydiving. I would never go in a submarine. I'm trying to stay on Earth. I don't care about outer space. That scares me. I want to stay grounded on Earth. So they are grounded in this material world. So they are very sensual. In that sense, romancing them needs to not be rushed. Taurus is probably the #1 sign that does not like to be rushed. So if you have Venus in Taurus, you are not going to like to be rushed into relationships, into intimacy, physical intimacy, none of that. that's going to be a real turn off, is somebody with a rushy energy, or somebody who you know, thinks that they can kiss you 2 times and then it's time to go into the bedroom. That is really not their vibe. They like to be wooed, they like to be courted, they like to slowly unfold and discover intimacy with you. That's true intimacy with them, is eating with you, very sensual, going perfume shopping with you, being cozy and being wrapped up in sweaters and having a conversation with you, just being able to touch you without the expectation of going all the way. That's another thing. That expectation can make them anxious or just irritated. Like, can we just be here in the moment? Can you not rush me ahead of what you want to get at the end of the night? Literally just stare at me and touch me. Or a lot of my friends with Taurian placements love giving and receiving back massages from their partners or from their friends, whatever. And it's going to be a turnoff if it's like, this back massage is, you know, I expect this to lead somewhere. It is like, no, don't rush. Give me a back massage with the intention of simply bringing me pleasure. Please do not, you know, try to, that ulterior motive rushing thing. I don't know how many other times I can say it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you can really bring the romance when it comes to seducing or just entertaining a Taurus Venus. Opulent fabrics. I always think of hotels. Hotel rooms with room service and Dom, a bottle of Dom on ice. The champagne shining all night. Diamonds, all right. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. That's very Taurus Venus. Like, you know what? That's what I like. I like setting the mood, honey, setting the scene by the fireplace. Ooh, like, and it's like that song's kind of about flexing, but it's not like aggressive in your face flexing. It's like, I got a condo in my hand. Do you want to be a part of this lifestyle? Do you want to be a part of this lifestyle? Because it's going to be good, but you know, I hope you can keep up. You got to have class. We'll talk about that later, because they have high expectations for everything around them. But we love it. We love to see it. We absolutely love to see it. That's why 2 of my best friends, my sisters basically, are Taurus. Because we both Leo Taurus, honey, we quality only. I'm referencing my handy dandy notebook as I always do. So if I'm looking down, TBT, Blue's Clues. So for Venus and Taurus, love languages. Physical touch is gonna be up there. And this is non-sexual physical touch, okay? Again, don't like just touch them when you're trying to get stuff started. That's really irritating. Back rubs, and if they're working at their desk, coming up behind them and just squeezing their shoulders and giving them a kiss on the neck. I didn't write it down, but acts of service is gonna be big for Taurus. If I think about my Taurus friends, some of the nicest things you can do for Taurus, people with Taurus placements, because they take a lot on their back. They're always dealing with a lot, even if they act like they're like chill and slow moving, they take a lot on. Bringing them their coffee in the morning when they're working and they've run out. Making them a warm meal when they arrive at home. Doing their laundry for them. Changing the bed sheets and making it smell all nice. Those are technically acts of service, and that is big for them. Really, really, really big. They might even request. They don't have an issue. Like, can you do this, please? I'm stressed. You know, a lot of my Taurus placements, friends, their partners, like, she's like, you said you would clean up the kitchen and do the dishes. I'm gonna hold you to that. Another thing, Venus and Taurus, they're stubborn. They are stubborn. Taurian placements, they're like, if you tell me you're gonna do something, you need to do it. So if you tell your Venus and Taurus that you're gonna give them a back massage later, you better do it. They will remember. It's not a cute little flirty thing you say. You better do it. You need to hold to your word. Simple as that, or don't promise it. They can be stubborn in that sense of like, I guess stubborn, but also kind of just don't say it if you don't mean it. Because as much as they like romance and the fantasy and everything, they are irritated by people who do not follow through with promises. You know, they're not gonna be enamored by, we should do this, I wanna do this for you, one day I'll do, like, do it or shut it, you know? Another thing would be quality time. Definitely they're gonna want their time with you. But you know what? And gifts. I'm gonna say that Venus and Taurus, they're all the love languages. Focus on all of them. Of course, everybody wants a little bit of each, but Taurus, you need to kind of focus on all of them, because then I think of gifts. That's a big one too. They wanna know that you're generous and that you like nice things, and it's gonna be nice if you pick things out for them that they actually like. I respect you. That's a high quality bottle of wine, even something simple as that. So yeah, focus on all of the love languages, to be honest. But you know what? It's worth it, okay? If you picked a Venus in Taurus, you gotta do a little work, but it's worth it. But yeah, I would definitely say physical touch is a big one. Yeah, I really can't decide. Just try to do one of each intentionally. It can be fun. It'll be like a little game. I'm gonna give them a massage today. I'm gonna give them a compliment. I'm going to bring them coffee. That's their little gift. I'm going to help them do the dishes or do the dishes after dinner's done so they don't have to worry about it. And I'm gonna make sure that I have the night free to spend with them so as not to rush through our date. That's a big thing. Also, yeah, quality time, because a Taurus energy person is not gonna be someone where if you are like, I can hang out for 30 minutes. A Taurus energy person wants to hang out the whole day. They want the whole day to be free. They don't wanna feel like, oh, we have an hour to have lunch. I guess that's enough. I mean, I guess we can't go to the place I wanted to go to because it's too far. That's like too much for them. They want to have fluidity when it comes to time. So quality time is big for them. If you can't give them a lot of time though, but you're dedicated and you're there and you're not talking about other things that make you sort of check out, they can handle just an hour of your time. But it needs to be quality time. Don't be on your phone. Don't be, you know, none of that stuff. A Venus in Taurus person might even just love making out in terms of, you know, romance. They're not someone who's like, let's just cut to the chase, really. They definitely need a lot of build up and sensuality, and they're quite practical. So it might be like, you know, they don't need all of this time, but if you're rushing them to get into it, they don't like it. Don't make it just a means to an end. You know, make everything that you do with them intentional. Taurus placement people are known for being quite frugal. People even use the word greedy. I think that's just a generalization and whatever. But frugal, yeah, pretty good with your money, pretty tight with your money. You spend on what you want to spend on, but you're not, one of my closest Taurus friends is like, has never had a credit card, never will, and she is like, Gabi, you need to pay off your debt now, I'm telling you, because credit card is the devil. Like, only buy what you can afford. She is very much, I suppose, frugal, but then has only really nice things, really nice clothes, just bought an apartment, so like, it pays off. I have mad respect for that part of Tauruses. But with that said, they're gonna be turned off by partners who are not financially stable. They're not gonna like that. Many of them are not gonna make excuses for that unless they really, really like you and they've already settled on it. They're looking for partners who are financially stable. Doesn't mean wealthy, but if a partner's not good with their money, or they're a spendthrift, or they're just kind of a disaster when it comes to that, that's a big red flag. That's a big, I'm walking away. No, because they're very concerned with their stability for their whole life. And someone who is not good with money, someone who may be emotionally unstable, unstable in any way, for others it might excite them. For a Taurus, it's like, you could mess up my vision that I have for myself. I want stability in this life more than I need thrill and excitement and crazy lust. So if you are, you know, kind of a mess, not my mess to clean up, you know? It's not like maybe a Venus in Virgo who might be like, oh, but I love to clean up a mess and like, I can help you, oh, I can upgrade you. It's like, Venus in Taurus is like, yeah, no. You know, even if you don't make as much money as them or something, they're not going to like people who spend and then rub it in your face. And I don't think anybody likes this, but it's just like, why? You know, for example, if you take them out for dinner and it's an expensive dinner, and then you mention for the next week and a half, that was a pretty expensive dinner, right? Like you know, it's a pretty nice place. You don't even want to know how much I spent on that dinner. They would rather you not have taken them there. No. Taurus feels that they deserve the finer things. They deserve to be spoiled. So if you're kind of reminding them that you're spoiling them, but in general, don't do that. It's so tacky. Ugh. If I could think of a TV character who is a Venus in Taurus, I didn't really think too hard. I think Tony from Girlfriends. If you guys have watched the sitcom Girlfriends, it's awesome. I fell asleep to it last night and I woke up at 4 in the morning on the couch like, what am I doing? But Tony from Girlfriends, she is funny because it's a funny show. So it is sort of an exaggeration of a type of person. But she's known, her friends tease her for only dating rich guys. She only wants millionaires. but really it's about her stability. And she even says, she's like, you know what, you guys can make fun of me, I know what I want. Everybody has qualities that they're looking for, and don't be mad at me just because I know mine. And she has to find a bit of a balance, because then she realizes that she really has feelings for this guy who is not a millionaire, but he has a vision and he's talented. And I mean, once a Taurus is in love, it's like, that's different. But in general, yeah, this character Tony is like, no, I want stability. I think she's a realtor, and she's like, I work hard for my money. I like the finer things in life. I want a partner who matches that. And there is nothing wrong with that. Now, because Taurus is so grounded in the material world, they like to have possessions. They sort of feel like their partner is, I don't want to say one of their possessions because that sounds really bad, but it's kind of like, I belong to you, you belong to me. That logic makes sense to them. It's not in a weird way, like you're my captive, hopefully, for most people, but it's just that logic of like, I'm yours, you're mine. Don't break that trust of like, you know, we belong to each other. They like that logic. It makes sense to them. So they can be, to the lay person, possessive or jealous. And they might not like it to go both ways. They might be like, oh, I was just flirting with that person because they're ruled by Venus. I was just flirting, it's no big deal. But when their partner is like acting a little shady, they can be very jealous. They expect a lot of loyalty from their partner, and that's also respect. You know, if you respect me and our relationship and our partnership and what we've built here, you will not make a fool out of me messing around. Don't say that you're mine and then act like you're not. Like I said, you know, they expect that from partners, but sometimes Taurus, they can be players. Venus and Taurus, or just Taurus placements, it doesn't mean they're really playing people. It just rather they can get around, you know, because they're very attractive and they can be very seductive. And because they're sort of laid back, they don't come across as desperate, and so people really want them because they're kind of like, what, you're chasing me? Oh, no big deal. There's that Ty Dolla $ign, horses in the stable, horses in the stable that I can ride. I don't know, it's kind of a messed up song, but it's a really good song. But he's just talking about like, I got this girl, I got this girl, I got this girl. That's actually yeah, it's kind of messed up. But he's saying that he's got a whole stable that he can choose from. Sorry, that's kind of messed up. But I do love Ty Dolla $ign. He's a great songwriter. So anyway, yeah, they kind of like their little, like, I like to have a girl here and here and here, because these are all my sweeties and I love them all. Look at them, they're my Neopets. So the things that a Venus and Taurus values in a partner, in a person, and in themselves, it's just what Venus represents, right? Aesthetics, money and finances, beauty, romance, pleasure. They want a partner who is well-versed in that world as well, who is refined, who has great taste. Ooh, they would never date someone they think is tacky, because it's the ultimate flattery, right? When someone who has great taste picks you. So they can be quite picky, selective, quite picky in terms of who they dedicate themselves to. They might like mess around with people who are, you know, not super refined, but when they get their life partner, they expect them to be very good looking or just have a sensual energy. They want to have that good connection with them, mutual, like someone that they can go to a bunch of restaurants with, try different foods. That's one way to get them out of their comfort zone, is like, let's try some new food. I would say if we think about potential partnerships, Leo, Aries, any of the fire signs, it's not, just looking at Venus signs, it's not a great match, because it's just going to be head to head. And then I know a lot of people think Scorpio and Taurus, but I think in terms of love, this placement, they're both so stubborn. Scorpios are so stubborn, and Scorpios, even when they see somebody getting irritated by their stubbornness, they're like, what? Deal with it then. Are you too weak to, like, they can really push buttons, and Taurus does not want to have that. So for me, Taurus and Cancer are a magic combo. I mean, both of my Taurus best friends are married to Cancers. Anybody, I mean, I have Mars in Cancer, and any person I've been with a Mars in Taurus, I mean, I dated only Mars and Taurus people for like years. It just happened that way. So that is magic. That is a magic combination. So I'm gonna say that. Of the other earth signs, I would say maybe Virgo over Capricorn. Ooh, that's hard, because Capricorn is quite an achiever, but if you have a really, really frugal, almost cheap Capricorn, that's not gonna please the Taurus. Virgos are, like I've said in my Venus and Virgo video, the Prince Charming type, and I think that's really going to work for Taurus. But Venus in Virgo is not always the best at the big showy romantic stuff. So it's too bad, because I bet Venus in Leo and Venus in Taurus would have a really good time initially, because they are both very similar. They both want this sort of worship energy, sort of opulent, luxurious, finer things in life, but I think they both kind of want to be worshipped. So it's like, who's gonna worship who? Who's the princess here? You or me? Because there can only be one. And they're both just so stubborn. So I think in the long run, no. But in the beginning, could be fun. So yeah, that's my video on Venus and Taurus. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye, guys.